Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is my first story time on this channel, so hopefully it goes good. I'm just going from my heart and we just gonna spill it on out, spill all the freaking tea. So yeah, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe, but definitely like the video. Y'all be acting like y'all wanna like, y'all watching it, why not like the video, why not subscribe? But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all the background first, and if this video does well on my channel, this is gonna be a weekly thing. All right, so anyway, let's get to the story. Background for the story first, and let's get into it. So I was sitting there, I was working at Metro for a little bit, and I was telling the girls or what everybody in the class, oh, I don't really like this. I'm sorry, we was still in like training. I was like, I don't really like this. There was a lot going on at the job. I was like, oh, I don't really like this. I think I'm gonna start driving trucks. It's called the DC circulator. That's where we was working at. But it was like sloppy, losing important paperwork, like with your social security number and stuff on it. I wasn't feeling it. So I was like, I don't really like this job. I think I'm gonna do 18 wheelers. And the girl, let's call her Patricia, she was like, okay girl, go for it. I always wanted to do it now that I'm single. Because she was like, she was either 40 or 50 and she just became single. So she probably was like 50 because she had a couple children or whatever and they was grown. So let's just say she was 45. Yeah, I really liked her. That was my girl. I really liked her. And she was like, okay, girl, go on and do it. I'm going to be right behind you. I'm going to do it too. Da-da-da. But before that, it was this girl. I just called her Tamika at Greyhound. And she would always tell me, girl, let's go to see y'all school together. Yada, yada, yada. And it's funny. She actually went to prom first. She did not like prom. So then she went to Swift. And she was telling me, like, girl, don't go to prom. You ain't going to like it there. You need to just go on to Swift. Prom do too much. Just come on over to Swift. Come on over to Swift. But I heard you don't go to Swift, so I ain't go to Swift. Like, nah, I'm gonna just go to prom. Yada, yada, yada. And then other than that, I was talking to this guy. Let's just call him Charlie. So Charlie was like telling me, he was at CR England. And he was like, yeah, I'm at CR England. They telling us that we can both make $100,000 a year each. You need to come on over here. You need to get your class A. And I'm like, nah, I don't want no class A. I ain't never want to drive trucks before. I don't do that. I'm a bus driver. Like, cause I never wanted to drive trucks. The only reason I'm gonna get into why I drove, like the real deep reason I drove the trucks, in a couple months. But basically, or like what really made me do my decision. But he was like, we can both make $100,000 a year. And I'm like, okay, I can pack up my place because I'm be on the road. Ain't no point in paying for this place. Get me a new little fresh start. Give me a new life. Because it seemed like that's what he was trying to do. So I was like, oh, I was like listening to him or whatever. And you know, CR England. But he had already put me on game. Like, buses and trucks is different. Like, with buses, since it's about an hour, that's what it is. Like, if they say you're going to be making, but they don't make promises to you like that anyway. They don't make a promise, oh, you're going to make $1,000 a week, or you're going to make $1,500 a week. If the pay is the pay, and that's what it is. But the pay for buses, personally, to me, is better than trucks anyway. But anyway, because you get a lot more perks, get treated better, it's a lot of things that it's just better. I'm sorry. So anyway, he was like, so I was thinking about it. Me and him ended up stopped talking anyway because his communication was splotchy. I was talking to him, whatever, but his communication got splotchy, and I don't deal with splotchy communication. So I was just like, oh, we was talking. I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work for me. We might as well part our ways. Plus, you can tell. I could tell that he was like, he had the girls. You know what I really want to say, but he had the girls. So he was a very attractive. He was typical, whatever, like pretty boy, light skin, nice wavy. He had waves in his hair. He had green eyes. He was a good height. He probably was like 5'10". He had the girls. Like, he had the girls. Let's just say that he had the girls. He ain't had no problem having women. So yeah. But I did a lot of light skinned guys actually. I don't know why. I guess because I'm brown skin and opposites kind of attract a little bit. And they just be attracted or whatever. And I don't know if this was a defense mechanism. And I'm like, I'm going to do that truck thing. Whatever he said, I ain't going to his company. He was going to CR England. I know better than him. I would never go there. But I'm like, but I kind of knew not to go back there anyway. Because I'm like, I'm kind of like rebellious. I'm like, I ain't going to the same company he going to. Even if he talking to now, I ain't going to that company. I'm getting my CDL, but I'm not going to that company. And we had kind of got into it because he like, why you don't want to drive no truck? Why you don't want to drive no truck? I'm like, I just don't want to. That's not for me. That's not what I do. I do buses. And but I just like, let me do it. Called a recruiter at Prime. I think her name might have been. Let's just call her. I know what her name is. Let's just call her Angie. And so she was like, you know, send everything over. Send your paperwork. Oh, you was doing Uber Lyft. I need this document. This tech documentation. I need this from Greyhound. I need this from Paratransit. I need this. I need this. I need that. I need that. Whatever. Boom. I think I started the process in January. I might have went there in February. And cause I was like, you know, you want to be sure, like that's a big ass move out your place. That's a big ass move. I wouldn't recommend nobody do that shit because I did not stay that long. Don't do that shit. I realized fastly that being on the road for no 3 weeks, shit, really even 2.5 weeks ain't for me. I could do 2 weeks for a period of time, but I could not consistently do no 2.5, 3 weeks. No, I can do 12 days. Matter of fact, I probably couldn't do no whole 2 weeks. I could do 12 days, but other than that, no. I was like maybe like a 12-day girl or 5-day girl or a local kind of girl. Whether if I can make the money, I can make at least 15 a week. Gross, and that's gross. So I'm not that picky, but yeah. So I told my mother, and she like, and they was only doing it in Springfield, Missouri at the time, so that's where I had to go. So we drove a rental car all the way to Springfield, Missouri. It took us like 3 days to get there. It not even supposed to take 2, but it took us like 3 days to get there because we was bullshitting. I think the first day we made it at 3 hours. The second day we made it at 8 hours. And the third day we made it at like 5 hours. So yeah, things kind of fast because like, you know, I used to go to Arkansas a lot, but Missouri. But I guess because, you know, when you're in a car, you can take different routes than when you're on the truck. So whatever, maybe that's why. But yeah, we got there, whatever. I got there actually a day early. I think you supposed to check in on a Monday. I got there like on Sunday. You know, hotel next to it called Home 2 Suites, and I love me Home 2 Suites from Greyhound. We used to always stay there, and I love me some Home 2 Suites. That's one of my favorite hotels. So yeah. Okay, so the first day was checking COVID test because this was like right in the peak of COVID when COVID first had started or whatever. And so yeah, my mother went home. She caught a flight back home. She caught a flight back home or whatever. Yeah, so the first day, like, you know, once after you get cleared for your COVID test and stuff, you can meet everybody else. This the first day. And like, yeah, they take your test in the morning. A couple hours later, they gonna come back with it. You got COVID. If you got COVID, I think you can go home. You gonna have to stay quarantined up in that room. So yeah, let me see. So yeah, we went in there, we did our documentation. I think this was when we went on the computer. I think it was so you could do the clearinghouse. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was like not the real orientation. This was just like checking you in, making sure you're good and stuff like that. So, it was me. I was, well, actually I wasn't in there alone, but it was another girl in there. I think it was 2 other girls in the class, or 2 other ladies in the class. One was like 35, one was 50. Of course, I was cool with the girl that was 35. I just call her Aranika. I did not like her ass after a while because you can tell as a woman, you can, or even as a man, you can tell when somebody like hate you. They think they in competition with you. Baby, we not in competition because if anybody knows, I don't date often. Like if story times go good, it's gonna seem like I date often, but I'm 28. Like. So yeah, I did it here and there, and I don't date people for long because people be on bullshit, and I'm not the type of person like I'm gonna give people chance after chance after chance after chance. No, you got your chance, and that's it. Like, like that's it. Maybe you might get 2, but definitely not nothing to do with no other female. That's one. That's one enough for me. Betrayal line, one enough for me. But anyway, so yeah, me and her was cool, but I'm not like a straight introvert, so I don't want to deal with you every day. So like, I'm not the type of person like, oh, we gonna be going to Walmart with each other every second of the day. No, you go. Like, I understand my wrong. I'm trying to get better with that because I want more friends. I'm trying to get better with that, but I'm not that girl. So I guess that's why I don't got much friends because I'm not about to be playing with you all day, every day. No. But I'm trying to get better with that. I can play with you all day, every day now, but most of the time, I get irritated face. No, you go about your business. I'm gonna go about mine. So she started acting funny. But anyway, the first day of orientation, which was the next day, this probably was like on a Wednesday. No, this probably was Tuesday because I think all that transpired on Monday. So I noticed the girl started acting funny. Like we wasn't hanging out with each other anymore like that. And she got a little, she kind of clicked up. I don't know. I would say I don't know who I was hanging out with, but yes I do. Let's just call him, he probably gonna watch this video. Let's just call him Anthony. Me and him was clicked up. Like, yeah, I was like, me and him was clicked up. Because we was both he was from DC, I'm from Baltimore. We like 45 minutes away from each other. So, and we both came from buses. He used to work at Metro, DC Metro. Like, when I say Metro, I meant that I worked at DC Metro Circulator. They affiliated, but Metro is a little higher up there. Like, you won't get paid, it's more, y'all should know what a circulator is. Y'all should have a circulator in your city. But circulator basically is a free bus. That's what it is. And the regular Metro say they would have to pay like $3 to get on DC, but the circulator is free. So yeah, but anybody can get on. So yeah, yada yada. I'm clicked up with Anthony. She's clicked up with this guy named Andre. This girl, I can't even remember her name right now. But let's just call her this lady named Carolyn. And it was like, I don't know how many other people was in the group, but it was a couple of them. It was a couple of them in that group. But I'm an introvert, so that don't really bother me. I mean, I was like, dang, like, we can't even be friends. But, I mean, we was friends, but I could tell that she was acting weird. And she would say little smart shit, and I would say little smart shit because, bitch, you not about to be getting smart with me. So, yeah, well, I noticed that she, like, all right, so then they got Andre in her group. He liked me, and he was not my type at all. Like, at all. My type is, like, it don't mean like, oh, if I'm not her type, I can't try to talk to her. I mean, I don't really got no type. But I do like brown skinned men with waves and a beard and like clean cut. Now y'all know, I do date white guys. Went on a date with a white guy like 3 weeks ago. So I do date white guys. I date light skinned guys, I date dark skinned guys. Just whoever match my fly, like whoever treat me nice, basically. That's what I'm saying. Like whoever treat me nice. That's what I like. But anyway, he wasn't my type. Like he wasn't. Like he not somebody that I would really Alright, so alright, so he is definitely not somebody that like I would like out of the group. He ain't somebody that I would have been like, oh, he's cute. Oh my gosh. I was actually interested in this other guy. Let's call him Larry. He was 6'7". He was from New Orleans. And he claimed he played, well, he did. He played professional basketball, but he played overseas or whatever. And he said something about the pandemic, why he couldn't do it no more. Something, I don't know. But I thought that's who I was gonna be talking to because he liked me and I liked him because I like a man. Most women like tall men. So yeah, I'm 5'7", he's 6'7", so yeah. I thought that's what I was gonna be talking to, but the thing was about that, and I might do a story time on him too, because yeah, I might, because me and him, we did stay connected, and we was actually talking, or like, text or whatever for a long time. Yeah, so, I might incorporate him into the story, and then might do a whole one on him later, who knows. So yeah, I thought I was gonna be talking to Larry, but the thing was, my trainer had a couple of students, and Larry trainer only had one student, so him and the trainer went over the road. We stayed at the pad, which that's where you learn your back and maneuvers and stuff like that. And Andre's trainer stayed over the pad too, because his trainer had about 7 students in that truck. It was either like 6 or 7, probably 7 including him. So he stayed, around too. Most of the people actually stayed around the pad. A lot of people wasn't going over, but my friend Anthony, he did. His trainer had took him, but they didn't get along. Him and his trainer didn't get along now. I ain't really get along with my trainer either. To be honest with you, he was cool, but he was a good trainer. I give him that. He was really, really good. He was real good. He was a really good trainer, but he got some people that got like short patience, so I don't get shit the first time all the time. So I'm gonna ask you again. I need clarity. And he was the type of person, he only like when a person asks him something once. So if you ask him more than once, he gonna start getting an attitude. So that's what made him not a good trainer. But other than that, he was a good trainer. And me and him actually ended up getting into it one day because he had said something smart to me, and I had said something smart back to him. And he was like, and I told him something that he needed to be doing, and I guess I was out of line. Well, no, I wasn't. I'm a grown-ass adult. If I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. And so he was like, and he, from what I said, he thought I went and told somebody that he wasn't a good trainer. No, I never said that. And I ain't gonna go tell nobody that you're a good trainer that you're not a good trainer anyway, because I'm trying to hurry up and move past this. Like, I'm trying to get up out of here and go to my TNT trainer. But I wouldn't have told anyway. Like, the only time I would tell is if it like got really, really bad, like where it's like I can't even deal with this person no more. And shit, I probably still might stay with them even because I don't want to switch trainers. Like, I don't want to do that. And so yeah, I don't want to do that. I like staying with one person because if you switching trainers, that's gonna make your time extend. So he was like, well, instead of you need to listen. Instead of you going in there telling people that I'm not a good trainer. I said, I ain't never telling you wasn't a good trainer. I'm just telling you, like, for real. Because if you ain't gonna change your attitude, then I might tell somebody, but I'm not gonna tell somebody just the same time we had a problem. I'm gonna talk to you first, and then I'm gonna go and tell your boss. But no, I ain't telling nobody because I was almost done. So what am I gonna tell somebody for anyway? So yeah, some type of way that me and the girl, we call her Ariana, or Aranika, whatever her name is. I was feeling some type of way that she traded on me, and I knew she was kind of talking about me because she was like be looking at me weird when she was talking to other girls. Like she ended up getting with a trainer with 2 girls, and it was all feminine girls. I was with another girl. I was with 2 other girls, but one of them she had failed her test like 5 times, so she was released faster than us because she'd been in with him for a couple weeks. And then I was with this girl named, I can't even remember her name, but let's just call her Mika. Let's just call her Mika. But I can't really text. Let's call her Tashana, matter of fact. She was okay. I actually was we was clicked up just because we was trainees together, you know what I mean? But she not somebody that I would hang out on a regular, and I'm not somebody that she would hang out on a regular. You can just tell. Let's just call her Tashana. But we was clicked up. We did everything together because we was trainees, but we wasn't like real friends. I don't even think we had each other numbers. Well, maybe we did because we was always together. I don't remember. But yeah, she not somebody I would hang out like with back at home. She not somebody I would check up on, but we was always together. And she knew 2 people. I think they might have came to school together. I can't remember their name, but let's call the older guy Rodney. But they don't even need no name. And let's call the younger guy Bernard. Whatever. Bernard probably was like 35. Rodney was like 50. Yeah, they was like on me because I'm not gonna go back and study, and no, I already know most of this shit. Like I said, I already had a CDLB, and it's really the same shit. The only thing different really is a combination. Other than that, and backing, but I ended up trifecting anyway, and guess who didn't? Mind your business, worry about you, don't worry about me. But the main reason I wasn't, and why they was getting on me, is because I was in school for psychology at the time. When I first got my CDL, I was in school for psychology, and that was my fucking priority. Yeah, I'm doing this, but I'm not worried about this. Like, I'm worried about it, but I'm not. I don't have to like overanalyze it because I already know that I know already. And just because you don't see someone studying for certain shit, that don't mean they're not. Like, I don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. So, like the older guy, whatever we call him, Bernard. Like, you can worry about the other school another time. You here now. He ain't even pass. I don't even think he passed his pre-trip. He ain't even pass. Like, but you worried about me, and I trifected. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so I already know what I'm doing. Like, you, Tashley, y'all ain't never drove a big vehicle a day in your life. I already knew what I was doing. So yeah. And like my trainer even said, yeah, I knew you was gonna pass too, because people that's already been in like a bus, they gonna pass. Like, it's the same shit. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get all off the points. So she was like, Andre always was going over there to talk to me or whatever. Like, anytime he always went over to talk to me. But I remember him saying one time, like, I could have swore he said, like, oh, yeah, I don't want to make this public, or I don't want everybody in my business. He said, I don't want everybody in my business. So I wasn't really talking to him like that. If you don't want everybody in your business, I ain't no secret. I see you when I see you. But later on, he said he never said that. So I don't know where I heard that from. But, yeah. So that was like my study buddy. Like I said, it don't matter what you see or what you think I'm doing. I might be studying in my room or later on, because me and him will always do laundry together, and we will be studying. Like, he kind of helped me pass. He kind of, like, we helped each other, like, pass our CDL test. He didn't pass on his first time either. He failed on his parallel parking. I don't know how. That shit was easy to me. Now, I might have failed if I had got the early doc. What my trainer said, he don't think I would have failed that either. He was like, I was hoping that you get the early doc, because I wanted you to be challenged. I'm like, well, I ain't get that early doc. And if you don't have a CDL and you watching it, that's like when a trailer bumped to the dock to get unloaded, basically. But that shit was hard. I couldn't get that doc, early doc, for nothing. But yeah, so me and him started hanging out or whatever, because like I said, the other guy, Luke, he was never there. And like I said, me and the girl Aaron or whatever, Arnika, we started beefing, and I noticed that she, like, I think it might have been because she liked Andre too, but Andre was always in my face. Andre was always taking me out on dates. When I'm telling you, me and that man was all over prime. We was all over prime. Like, me and Andre was all out on dates, and then, like, I remember one time when we had all passed our tests, or when we had passed our tests and Anthony was waiting to pass his test. I don't think he passed on his first time either. Yeah, we had all went to eat, but me and Andre, we was always out at the mall. We was always out eating and stuff like that. And he was just showing me a good time. Like, neither of us ever been to freaking Springfield, Missouri before, but we was just having a good time. And like, he laid out on me thick, but I knew he had some problems because, like, you know, when you gotta get a fingerprinted for the TWIC card, he couldn't pass his TWIC card. Like, it was some problems. And then he was asking people, like, questions about legal stuff. Like, he was going through an open case right now because, oh, and I ain't even mention it. Let me get to Andre background. I'm 20 freaking minutes into the video. So, Andre had 2 kids. And if you know anything about me, I don't have kids, and I prefer not to date people with kids. I feel like people with kids need to date people with kids. And I ain't got none. I can't understand your pain, don't want to understand your pain, and I just don't understand your pain. Like, I got nieces and nephews, but that's not the same as having no child. So I feel like people with children should date people with children. Childish people should date people that don't have kids. I mean, if you don't got no problem with it, then do you. I'm not judging you, but that's just not my preference. And that's the main reason I don't get my number out a lot, because a lot of people my age gonna have kids, so I don't be giving my number out. Like, what's the point? The only way I get my number out, say if I was like on a dating site and I can see you don't have kids, of course you still gotta check, because people do be lying on their kids. Now that's the lowest thing I think you can do, is lie and say you don't have kids, and you really gotta, for a stranger or just anybody. Why are you lying and saying you don't got kids? Like, you need to just date somebody that have kids, or okay with people dating people that do have kids, you know? So yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't have kids, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, I want to travel and stuff like that. Say if I wanted to move to Atlanta right now, but you can't, because, you know, your baby mother live here and she ain't going for all of that. And say he had full custody of the kids or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, yeah. But needless to say, I had gave it a chance or whatever. His daughters was 12. When me and him was talking, his daughters was like 12 and 14. Yeah, it was like 12 and 14. He was always talking to them. But the main reason I shouldn't have dated him, because he had that open case. And you know, people do lie. I forgot how, I think he said it happened 4 months ago. But people lie, and she had a restraining order out on him and everything. So I never really found out like what happened between, and this was not with his baby mother. This was a chick that he was dating. And said that he introduced him to his daughters quick. He was always doing that type of shit. He was even talking about introducing me to his kids. But like I said, I get them in, I get them out. Like, if I see that me and you are not working, it's not clicking, Steven, you out of here. So yeah. So, let me see. So that was a big red flag. When he could not get his TWIC code, when he kept on asking about stuff about legal stuff, like, well, I do have an open case right now. And I think he even had some domestic stuff against his baby mother, like, not open, but he had domestic situations against his baby mother. So it's giving like you beat women. Like, I'm sorry, but it's giving you beat women. But I don't be dating like that. And I just fell for him. Like, I didn't know I was gonna fall. But you know, like when you spending every minute of the day together with people, spending the night with each other, always together, and it's like y'all have stuff in common. Like he always put something in my head, like, well, because he was from Maryland too, and he was like, well, like it's not. And he used to live in the same place my sister used to live, and I used to live like 5 minutes away from there. Remember I told you I had just gave up my place? Yes. So he was like, what did he say? Like he would always put in my head, like, oh yeah, this is destined to be. How often do you be, whatever, how many, let's just say, it's 1,200 miles from here. How often are you 1,200 miles from somewhere and you still get matched back up with someone from your hometown? It's meant to be. And I was just eating it up. Yeah, you right, babe. Yup. I was just always with him. I was always up under him. I was always in his freaking skin. Like, I really fell for him. Of course, you know, now that, you know, it's over and done with, I know that shit was lust. That was not real at all. So yeah, like we was everywhere together. I really liked him. He really liked me. So anyway, now it was like a lot of drama, but it was stuff always in my mind. Like it don't bring me peace dating a person with kids, because like say, you know, of course I don't have kids, so a person with kids, some people do stay attached to their ex, but when I'm done with you, I'm done. That goes for family, friends, relationships. If I'm done, we don't got to talk no more. Hello, how you doing? But I'm not about to be on that person Facebook page. What they doing now? Ooh, no, that's not me. I'm not that girl. Oh, hey girl, can you go to Andre's page? That's not me. We're done. It's done. All I want to do is get over you and move the hell on. So yeah, that ain't me. So you ain't got to worry about no ex. I mean, they might be lingering around trying to get back with me, but I'm not trying to get back with them. I'm not texting them. Not on their birthday, not on nothing. Like, I mean, if they text me and I'm single, then that's something different. But if I'm with somebody, I'm not dating them. But whether you're with me or not, if y'all have kids, so you're going to have to still be in contact with their mother. Sometimes they even still doing financially for their mother. Of course, you know, they're going to do for the kids. But sometimes they still going to be doing financially for the mother as well. So yeah, like, it just not really sat with me. I tried to date people with kids a couple of times. A lot of times, like, but that's really a couple. But I always knew in the back of my mind, even when I do, I always know it's not gonna be serious. Like, cause I just like, it don't bring me peace. I just can't get with it. Like, I tried, I definitely gave it a fair shot, but I can't get with it. Even when I was on the road trucking, I told this guy, like, it was like this guy just had met at the dock one time when I was working for Tyson. I don't date no kids, and they still try to push it on you. I remember one time this guy even told me, I don't even mess with my kids. I don't even see my kids like that. I'm like, well, that's bad to say. Like, yeah, that's real bad to say. But, yeah. So, but I try to get with it because I really liked him. Like, you know, I feel like everybody is just like a person that you wouldn't even go for, and then you just fell for them out of nowhere. Because that's how it be when you spend a lot of quality time with a person and they showing you new things and y'all getting along. But then, you know, when you think about it, when you take a step back and think about it, like, I ain't even really like his days like that. But yeah, like, yeah, but I don't know. It was a little things that just ain't bring me peace. I remember one time we was sitting in his little room at prom or whatever, where they had to stay in it, and he had slipped out one day and said, oh, my wife. I said, wait a minute, so you divorced or not? Like, I think he said they got divorced 7 years ago. Yeah, so I'm like, I forgot how long it was. I can't remember if it was 2 years ago or 7 years ago. Maybe it was 2. I should say it was 2. And oh yeah, but that's still kind of early. Somebody getting married to somebody, that's not somebody that's having kids with somebody. Somebody, you know, people will have kids with just any random Joe down the block. But people not getting married to just any old body because they think, you know, they're gonna get them for their assets, they're gonna have them on lock and stuff like that. So I don't play with that shit. I might freak with them. Well, I used to, might have talked to, at least try to talk to the guy with kids, but married, but I never was a type to anyway. Like, somebody kid just dropped off 6 months. Sometimes these dudes be trying to, and women too, they be dating people and they pregnant. Like, they got a baby on the way, the baby ain't even here, and they be dating. Like, maybe you should reconsider. But I know that's bad to say, but I'm sorry. I'm just against it because he has divorce decree with him. Let me, boy, you told me you had it. Let me see your divorce decree because I gotta make sure that you really divorced now. And he couldn't find it at first, but then he probably got out. And I stopped talking to him. You can't find it, that means you lying. And it was just signs to me that just did not sit well with me. And yeah, it was just signs, and it just didn't sit well with me. I couldn't sleep at night. I wasn't settled. But I was telling my mother stuff about it. She always trying to encourage me to like deal with somebody that lust, and you just feel like you on like a freaking high. And yeah, I just described Andrew. He was brown skinned. He was probably 6'3", and he was like brown skin 6'3", but he was very, very skinny. That's why he wasn't my type. I like a man with some meat on his bones, something that you can feel and touch and stuff like that. But man, we did move fast. Obviously, when I say I fell in love at prom, we did move fast, obviously, and it was very, very good. Honestly, it was a guy I was dating at. Don't date people from work, y'all. Like, it was a guy I was dating at Greyhound. I thought he was the best that I would ever have. It's always the older guys. Andre was 36. Andre was 36, 35. I was 26, I think. I was either 25 or 26. And I was either 25 or 26. Andre was I probably was 25. Andre was 36. And then I remember one time he told me about, oh, I was telling my brothers about you. And I just can't believe I'm dating somebody so younger. Like, boy, you want to talk to me? What you mean you can't believe? You the one who approached me. I wasn't checking for you. Like I said, he's not my type. And I'm the type of person, like, I don't need to talk to a guy or whatever. Like, I could have been on my primary way. Like, yeah, like, I could have been on my merry way at prom. Like, I didn't need to be talking to somebody. You actually really, he was hot with me, but also it's a distraction. Like I said, I was worried about him. When you mess with a guy with kids, that's often people like, oh, I hope they don't go back to their ex, hope they don't go back to their big mama. I wasn't really worried about the girl he had the open case with. But sitting here thinking about it, shit, I should have been worried about her too. But anyway, and then it was another thing, dating with somebody with kids, and y'all like just started dating. Y'all also got to think about, and this is what something I did think about. He's driving trucks. I'm driving trucks. Even if we got home time at the same time, his baby mother is watching them kids for them 3 weeks. So he gonna be with them kids on his home time, and me and him never gonna be able to see each other. Like this that we doing right now, him with the no kids, because his kids ain't there. Of course, he's talking to them and stuff like that. He's talking to them all the time, at least once a day. Girl, I mean, I remember one time his daughter had said something smart to him, like about seeing him, and like because he was supposed to be back at a certain date, but of course he failed his test, so he wasn't able to go back. And she had said something smart to him. He's like, "Don't you ever say that again." I ain't gonna lie, I was laughing in my head. That's why I can't be dating nobody. I was like, you see this person, and then you out, listen to them, the father down, or the mother down, and it's like, is this even the same person? Like, cause he was very sweet to me. But of course, like I said, it all starts like that. When you first just meet somebody, it all starts like that. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I started peeping some shit, so I ain't gonna lie, I started texting Larry a little bit. Like, I started texting Larry a little bit. And another thing that pissed me off about Andre, I didn't like that bitch, Arnika. And he was cool with her and telling me like, oh, Arnika just put this in a group chat. Arnika just put this in a group chat. You might need to go call Arnika if you want to keep on speaking her name, because I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear her. I don't like, if I don't like somebody, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about you, no good, no bad. I don't want to hear shit. Like, that bitch is invisible to me. But yeah. So then it was time for us to go home. So of course he trying to find a rental car so he can drive home. Of course I'm gonna ride with him because we live in the same state. I think he might have drove half the way. I drove half the way or something like that. Well, he probably drove most of the time, but I did drive too. I remember we stopped often. We stopped often, and like I said, I don't even know if I said this, but yeah, I did. He was the best sex ever. I didn't really want to say this because I know my family watching me, but shit, I get paid for you too, and it's my story time. So if you family, just click off the video. Oh yeah, it was amazing. That's really why I probably was stuck with him. It was amazing. It was so big. That's probably why. Why I was like, I ain't leaving him alone. Well, we did start getting into it a little bit. Like we was starting to get into it a little bit. And just about certain stuff. Started getting into it. I think he said I was demanding or something like that. And I am. If you can't take it, then move on. You know what I mean? And I am. And yeah, I am. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not what I am. I am demanding as a friend, family member, person in a relationship with. I'm demanding. I'm a Sagittarius. I guess we feel like the world revolves around us. But yeah, like I give a lot, so I want a lot in return. So like if I'm put you first, I need to be put first as well. And people don't get that. And that's why then I end up returning energy, or I just stop fucking with them, period. And then they feel bad. But it's like, I told you. Like, so yeah, anyway, he had to go back home. Like, he was in a rush to go back home. He couldn't even go back. I was gonna go out by myself, but obviously I didn't. Like, once I had trifecta or whatever, I was ready for a trainer, but since I'm a lady, it take longer to get trainers. So I think I stayed at home for 2 weeks, and I was only able to get another trainer because he had to end up he don't even usually go home, but he said he ended up having to go to Pittston, Pennsylvania, which that's another terminal for Prime for some reason, and that's the only reason me and him got matched up, because he was there and he had just passed his tests or his classes to start training people. And let's just call him Kendall. But we probably ain't gonna do no story on Kendall, but I loved him. I was ready to get off the truck with him, but because he was like a steering wheel hog, but I did love him as a person, but as a trainer, no. And I was his first student. Did without him. I could have did without him as a trainer, but as a friend or like just somebody to hang with, kick it with, I liked him a lot. But and it's crazy how people be like, oh, you had sex if you in a truck with somebody. Me and him was like the same age. I think I was 25 and he was 26. But we never did nothing. He did give me some money, but me and him, we ain't never do nothing. He was cool. That was my ace boom coon. So, like, he would probably be that's why I say I could never see him. But him and this guy named Marcus. Oh, I didn't even tell you this, but it was this guy named Marcus at the, I ain't supposed to call him that. But whatever, I just said his name, whatever. I just say this guy named Maurice at Prime as well at the same time. But he got there a week before us, but he was there at the same time, and he was from Graham. And me and him, we was like this, because we both had all right, so at Graham they do classes. So they'll have a January class, February class, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I was a December class and he was a November class in Graham. So we was close. And we were like the same age. He was 1 year older than me, of course. He probably was, when I started at Graham, I might have been 23, and he probably was 24. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that was my ace spoon coon, Maurice. Yeah. But yeah. So I was hanging out with him a little bit too at Prime, but not much, because he's a real loner. He's an odd one. But I do love him. Or I did. But he just met this girl and he started acting funny. I don't do fake shit. I understand you got a girl now, but I don't do fake shit. So whatever. I just let him go on and live his life. So matter of fact, I want to call Andre. Let's switch his name to Liar. Or Fraud. We're going to change his name to Fraud. Okay. So Fraud, we going home, whatever. Like, he was trying to get home. He was getting overwhelmed. He was getting anxious because his girls was mad at him. And I'm just, in my head, I'm just thinking, how the fuck, if it's like this, how the fuck is me and you going, like, hang out? Like, how are we going to do that? How are we going to hang out? How are we going to have time to spend together? I'm just like, I can't do this shit in my head. I can't do this shit. Once I get home, I'm gone, whatever. Like I said, we would spend a lot of time. Like, of course, certain states we would go to. We would go wherever we felt like going. Like, see like little museums, or just see little, little stuff that this state is known for. We would kiss in front of it and shit like that. It was real cute. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was real cute. But yeah. Like I said, that sex was out of this world. I don't even think I had sex with nobody since. That's like how long I had sex. I don't even think I had sex with nobody since then. I don't think so. I don't think so. Cause I don't really be dating like that. Like, you gotta be married. So I mean, I had went to Punta Cana this summer. I had a little slip up. Can't really go into detail what it was, but on vacation, that don't count. We talking about real life vacation shit, don't count. I mean, yeah, that shit don't count. But yeah, write in the comment section if you feel like vacation, like stuff you do on vacation count. I mean, if you in a relationship, I ain't gonna say it don't count, and you trying to use that for cheating. But like once you single, that shit don't count. And shit, I definitely with the people that be like, oh, they can't go on a vacation alone. Cause I'm telling you, we went to Punta Cana this weekend, and it had, I mean, the last song, and that shit went down. Like, and some of the people most of them actually was in relationships at home, and you would have thought they was the most single person in this damn world. How they was fucking. How they was getting down. You would have thought they was the most single person in this world. And I'm talking about men on men. Yeah. So, men on women too, but there was a lot of gay men there. I'm telling you. I don't know if that was what that resort was known for, but it was a lot of gay men there. Me and my best friend actually met this guy. That was my best friend. I liked him. He was fly. Like, he was fly. He would always wear this little vest. He was fly. I'm driving home. We was always together, even like, cause we was both waiting for trainers. So we was still always together when we had got home as well. I let him meet my parents and with my mother and my sister and everything. Like, I really liked him. Like, I really thought, of course, when y'all in the moment, y'all talk about engagement, y'all talk about being together forever. I was stuck in the moment. Like, I really was. So, like I said, it took me a while to even date again. And I really never even dated again. I mean, I dated. I did, I was talking to this other driver. Let's call him Psycho. And if this video do good, of course, I'm going to do a video on Psycho. I actually met him on TikTok. And, on his, on his 34, he came down to see me. But yeah, I actually did do a video on Psycho before. Like, so that probably won't be my second story. My second story, if this video does good, is gonna be my Greyhound boo. And we gonna call him 40-year-old virgin. Like, but I don't know if I should do a video on 40-year-old virgin, because me and him always stop talking, get back together, stop talking. But I'm done with him now. You feel me? Like, I'm done with him now. But like, when we was together, we would probably stop talking, got back to talking like 20 times. But I ended up changing. Like, I just wanted a fresh start last year. So probably like in April of last year, I changed my number. So I ain't talked to none of my exes, because I blocked them all social medias, changed my number. They have no trace of me, period. Yeah, so, but I did see, like, I had this, like, I'm the type of person, I'll get on Twitter just to see what people talking about on certain shows, and I probably ain't been on Twitter in like 8 months, and I see he followed me on Twitter. But yeah, certain people you respect, so you wouldn't want to put their business out there. So I might do a video on Psycho, or I might not. I don't know. And there's some Greyhound people that watch me, and I feel like they would know, or they gonna know who I'm talking about. I talked to a couple of different guys at Greyhound, but they gonna know, or they gonna like, well, which one is you? So I don't know. We might do a video on Psycho, or we might not. I want to, cause that's gonna be a long ass video, probably like 2-3 hours. But I want to, but I don't know. Yeah. So we had got home, or whatever. And I only got 12 minutes. So we ended up getting home. It's like, how are we gonna hang out? And I kept on submitting it to them, like, how are we gonna hang out? And it was just too much for him. Like, he ain't say this, but you can just tell, like, trying to please me, trying to please his daughters, because, like, at the same time, you gotta think about it on my side too. Like, of course, I'm thinking about his daughter's side. Of course, they want to see him, but why would I talk to somebody I can't even see? Like, that wouldn't even make sense. Like, you know, of course, he only want to be home every 3 weeks. You get 3 days, 3 weeks. Say he spent 2 of them days with his daughter. I only get 1 day for 3 weeks. It just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got home, whatever. We ended, like I said, we did, like, on our way home, we kind of started bickering at each other a little bit. Probably because we was hanging out too much, but we started bickering with each other a little bit. And it was like some serious questions he started asking me, because, you know, he's older than me. So it's some serious questions that he started to ask. And I was answering them, but I'm like, I mean, I want to be with him, but then I don't. I ended up breaking up with him because of the daughter situation. It's like, you can't be 2 places at once. And then you know, like I said, like, you know how some people, they'll go in their baby mother house. I'm not comfortable with all that shit. If I can't go in my ex house, I'm not comfortable. I mean, I know you got kids, but I'm not comfortable with it. That's why I usually don't date men with kids. So, and that was that type of stuff going on, and I just wasn't comfortable with it. But one day, I didn't feel comfortable, and it's not even that I didn't feel comfortable. I think everybody should do this, because you need to know who you're dealing with, especially if it's getting serious. So one day, I took it upon myself, because the shit just wasn't adding up. When we was here, he would still get a hotel because he claimed his daughters had a run with him. For who knows? That girl could have been living there with him. Honestly, truthfully and honestly, who knows? She could have been in there living with him. So, Maryland Case Search is a place that you can look up and see what cases this person has in the past. So I went on there and I seen, I seen a couple things about him, but I knew his wife's name I told you he sent me that divorce decree. I went and I searched up her name too. He was a fucking liar. Like, when I'm telling you, they still had the same address like she was living in, and she could have been. When I'm telling you, I never went to his house before. I never did. He never went to my house either, but I never went to his house before, so she could have still been living there. I feel like she was. He said that he just let her use his address, but I don't believe that shit. And then it was like recent when she was using, like, it was like recent stuff, like probably like 2 months ago type of stuff. When he said they broke up 2 years ago, or maybe that was 7 months ago. And then when I said that he's claiming they broke up 2 years ago, no, can't fool me. Yeah, so no, you cannot fool me. No, you can't fool me. Not at all. So, he was on bullshit the whole time, basically. That nigga was on bullshit the whole freaking time. He was a fucking liar. But I been knew that shit. Even with that open case shit, I been knew that shit. Like, when I found that shit out, like I told you, I'm one and done. I don't even gotta tell you what I found. I think I did tell him what I found, but I blocked his number immediately after that. I'm not the type of person, like, people like, oh, don't you want to hear what they say back? No, fuck them and fuck what they had to say back. You know what you did, and you know what you did it for, and you knew you tried to pull the wool over my eyes, and I'm not going down like that. So, I got a lot of story times. So if you want more story times, put it in the comment section down below. Yeah, like, if you want more story times, put it in the comment section down below. That was it. My therapist was like, well, you should unblock his number. And I had a therapist at the time. After what she said, I let her ass go too, because why would you encourage me to date a person that obviously lied to me? Like I said, it was bigger than that to me, like, than like a regular lie, because it's like, you got kids with this lady. Who knows if you still fucking with her? Who knows if she live in that house with you? And then, like I said, the other girl. And then it was like, I'm the type of person, like, if I ain't had drama before I met you, I don't want drama while I'm with you. Like, you ain't got no drama with me. Because, like I said, I don't fuck around and play with my exes like that. If it's done, we done. Like, period. So, yeah, like, we was done, didn't it? Like, it's nothing that we had to talk about. I'm one and done. Like, you lied. You was a fucking liar. When your daddy said, you's a motherfucking liar. Yeah, you were a real liar. And it's funny because right after that, and I told Anthony, like, oh my gosh, oh wow, I can't believe that. But it's crazy though, because remember that time that me and you and him had went to the restaurant? Because Anthony wants to take me to the restaurant, but he was my boo, so I'm like, oh well, he's here. He's like, oh well, he can go too. Oh, matter of fact, I don't even think he said he can go too, but and he was like, well, can I come? You know what I mean? And he was like, what do we call the liar? So liar did answer the phone. Liar did answer the phone, but he had took a step back. Me and Anthony was in front. I think liar was in the back, and liar was on the phone, but I thought he was on the phone with his daughters, but. Anthony was like, oh yeah, he did seem a little funny because when we was all together, he took a phone call and it seemed like he was talking to like a significant lover, and I was just like, interesting, but shit, I don't put nothing past him. But I mean, it was what it was. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.